Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday's stream. I am Sarah, the community manager for Lord of the Rings Adventure Card Game. Today is, and I'm cheating, I'm looking, September 17th. It is our morning stream, and it is multiplayer day. So, just want to make sure everybody's all connected. We're good. All right. First and foremost, I want to introduce my multiplayer partner. He is the voice in the sky today. It is our friend Widowmaker from Discord, if you're familiar. His name is Ian. I'll let you say hi, Ian.
Hey guys, how you going?
Hi, Octavian on YouTube. Welcome as always. So today we are not just going to do a multiplayer stream, not only because it's always really good and fun to see multiplayer, but we're also going to give some opportunities for learning. We have to remember that we have a bunch of new players, or if not now, we will have new players because everybody's going to tell their friends to get the game because it's fun, right? So let's. So at this point, we wanted to talk about kind of different play styles, little different mechanics. We are going to use campaign 1 quest 5 because there's some really interesting fate events and different kind of ways to maybe approach the quest. So and yeah, so it's going to be a lot of learning. Sorry, words hard morning. So with that, I'll kind of go over what our sort of semi-game plan is. Right now, I am going to be working with a dwarf deck, something that I don't normally do. So I have absolutely no lore, no spirit, which I know is pretty rare for me. So it's a little different kind of game for me. However, one of the things that both Ian and I are working with is more than one sphere. So that's something that I think some of the new people may not ever get a chance to either see or use, because it's kind of hard if you don't have a balanced deck to really chug through the quests. So getting these multiple different spheres, you get different cards, which kind of can help, but it's just sort of this balancing act. So what I mean by that, for those that may not know, is you have this sphere level. No matter what, if you have the matching hero, you get the sphere level 1. You need to have multiple heroes to unlock the various level spheres. So in my particular deck, I have 2 leadership, so I can use 2 spheres. And some of these cards are pretty interesting, pretty powerful. So it just kind of unlocks another level of cool things to use, I guess. And I don't know if Ian, you have anything you'd want to add to that?
Yeah, I guess the big thing is that like you said, being able to play in multiplayer allows you to take those sort of balanced decks, and taking level 2 cards, you're really offsetting your ability to be able to cover 3 out of the 4 bases, or 3 out of the 4 spheres, if you will. So I really challenged Sarah to play a stream and not take lore or spirit. So I wanted to see her, not squirm a little bit, but actually, go out and play some decks that she may not have normally played. And I'm playing a deck that is actually not something that I would normally play. So the deck I'm playing is it's a deck that I would use to get Elrond's hero power. So I don't know. I sent Sarah my deck. I don't know if she loaded it up, but basically Elrond's hero power is hero award, I should say, is you need to run 24 events and only Noldor allies. So it's pretty tricky to get. It's something you have to build around. And so I'm running Elrond and Glorfindel for all your healing and threat reduction needs. And just for something different, and again, this is probably not very powerful. I would probably not do this if I was actually, playing to win. But I'm playing Rosiel. I'm playing Rosiel because she's not normally an ally, hero I would use. It's not someone I've used a lot of. So I'm going to try her out. And I've got an idea. I have a cunning plan.
That's all you can have at this point until Sauron messes with you.
Yeah, that's it, and I'm just, Yeah, so I'm gonna use Rosiel because I think Arwen's done a hammy or something. I think she's just been overworked, so she needs to have a rest this week. I think
Well, it's her fault for being so powerful.
you and Twit both ran her. I was like sitting there watching that last week. I'm like, what? You can't both run the same heroes? Come on.
We didn't plan it that well. I think he wanted to play a deck that he had, and I was like, yeah, I'll play this one. And yeah, not quite as much coordination, but it was still fun.
Cool.
All right. I think with that, I'll just create a public game, and then you can join. Oh, and so in multiplayer, there are only 2 options as opposed to the 3. There's narrative or there's challenge. And that's based on the first couple of streams of mine, we've seen narrative be fairly easy. I mean, with my first couple, if I was able to beat narrative, it's pretty easy. But it does ramp up quite a bit with multiplayer. Sauron now gets like 6 resources, for example, in a multiplayer game. So challenge can be pretty time consuming and pretty tough. So for the sake of stream and everything, we're going to be doing narrative.
Which is why we're playing fun decks.
That's right. I also
One thing I will oh, here we go.
Oh, I was just going to say something stupid. I also went through and bought all of the things I could with fellowship points. So anyway, sorry, what was your question?
Were you able to get the Frodo avatar? Were you able to get Frodo's avatar? Because I thought that was like the one thing that you just sit there and.
Oh, I don't know if I did that yet.
I think it's bugged.
Is it?
It's like one of the avatars is bugged. Sorry, it's inside joke, I guess. Righty, ready to go?
Okay. Yep. Let's see what happens.
So one thing I'll say, guys, if you are trying to get the Elrond Hero Award and you struggle with it, this deck, and I've posted it in Discord, will work really well in co-op. In single player, because I've actually got a single Bilbo's cloak in it, which if you put it on Bilbo, it will reduce Sauron's resources to 1 per turn if you use Bilbo's ability. So it's hilarious. Mm-hmm. You get to screw with Sauron, and you don't ever get to do that.
It's true. You also can't laugh in Sauron's face because he'll get you back.
So what I'm fishing for in my mulligan, I'm trying to get a hard removal card so I can get rid of that hill troll without Sarah having to chew through it. And I've got one, so that's nice.
Oh, that's excellent. Yeah. Well, since you're running Spirit, I can have you take it.
No, you take it.
Okay.
I don't need it. I don't need the resources.
I have
everything in my deck is cheap. It's very cheap.
Well, I mulliganed and got 2 Sigil Miners to start, so yeah. I think we'll be good on resources.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question for Greg if he's around. I don't know if he's loitering on the stream.
Is
there a reason why you can't pick the first player in co-op? So we just got to pick. We got to pick who got Bilbo. I always find it strange that you can't choose who the first player is.
That is very interesting. I'll bug him about it if he's not on.
Yeah. It does make a big difference though, right? Because you're the first player each turn, which means you usually get the first activation from Sauron every turn.
That's true.
Anyway, it's okay.
So I have a feint, so I can reduce the one guy, if that makes a difference.
You won't have to worry about him again.
Okay. So,
just saying.
So maybe start getting some weapons out, I think. Hello, Dad Mageddon. Thank you for that name again.
Welcome.
Welcome to the stream. Hi, Aaron. Welcome.
Cool. So I'm going to play Glorfindel's Hero Award. So if you haven't ever seen this one, it's defeat 2 minions and exhaust him. He doesn't doesn't ready next round. So.
Oh. Wow.
Oh. Yep.
Well, that wasn't messing around. Wow.
No, no, no. I told you I like screwing with Sauron. So that's actually one of the cool things about level 2 Spirit, right? Is that because a lot of it's everything's hard removal, it doesn't matter that they've got extra hit points, right? So in co-op, in narrative, they have an extra 1.5 if you and it's double if you're playing on challenge.
Yes.
Oh, I hate you so much, Sauron. I hate you.
Like I said, it's streamed, so he knows.
It is.
He absolutely
all the
knows.
evil things will happen. Yeah.
Somebody on Twitch said cards are OP. Sauron shouldn't be allowed to play cards.
Yeah.
Well, that wouldn't be much of a game, now would it?
They know where it's at.
That's right.
I don't like taking needless damage, so I think I might.
That's definitely one of the things that I always kind of want to think about too. Is it's just one, but if I can avoid taking damage, that's usually what I opt for. Sorry, I'll just deal with the spammer later. We have a spammer in. Okay. So
don't sleep on that free resource over there.
That's true. That's true. And that's one of the things too, as I was practicing this quest, I almost always made sure to do that, even if I didn't need the resource, because that at least takes it away from Sauron. So hello, Rainovan. Welcome to the chat. So I think at this point, I'm just going to start getting the board built up too.
Yeah, so that's kind of the plan, right? Is that I want to kind of sort ourselves out for the first couple of locations and just let Sarah get to the point where she can start smacking Uftak. Spoiler alert, of course, but we've seen this on stream before, right?
Yep, I did go through this on stream. I'll just get some resources. I don't have much else in my... I have one Sigil Miner I'll probably put out just because he's there.
If you can clear that growing darkness with Dwalin, that would be swell.
That's right, you've passed. We'll just
I have,
get
yeah.
that
It's all
out.
you.
It's all me. We'll guard with him. And sure, we'll just add to that.
So have we shown Glorfindel on stream before?
I have never used them. I used Rosiel once just to get the her award. I've never used actually Glorfindel or Elrond actually.
Yeah, I thought that was the case, which is partly why I picked him.
Okay, I got another sword, so let's use it on him. Let him start getting stuff out. I'm glad you were able to watch the video for Tuesday's stream, Dadmageddon. If those of you that may or may not have seen it, it's a really fun stream that we did with Greg. He did some behind the scenes on development and art, so go check it out. It's pretty great. I'm biased because that's what I do for a living also. Okay. I can start chipping away at stuff since we don't have any people.
You probably could have taken that last resource from Sauron.
I should have. Now in hindsight.
I actually think you've got this down pat now. I've noticed the streams this week. You're outsourcing.
Outsourcing.
Yeah, insourcing with Greg, and you're like, this whole sitting here talking to myself for an hour sucks. I'm gonna get other people to do it.
I'm gonna get you guys to do my stream for me. You figured me out.
suppose. That little dude. So that's another level 2 card. That's Sailor, which he can get all sorts of cool.
Sailor of the Loon. Amber. Oh, yeah. Each
So
time you play an event.
Sauron's passed, so you can still steal his resource, which is nice.
Yay. Take that away from you. And I've got another Erebor Watchman, but because I don't know that I'm gonna need the Sigil Miners for too long, but
you were prepping up all these meaty dwarfs to deal with that troll. Took that away from you, didn't I?
I mean, even at 2, even like Sigil Miners at 2, that's still nothing to sneeze at. So.
No.
Well, so at this point, should we just feed the fate meter?
Yeah, I mean, that'll become a lot easier in a second. But yes, it's we'll talk about that in a bit later. But
okay,
this is a good location to make sure you get set up.
Yeah. And I'll just in my face.
So just while we're chill. Oh, hey, Engage, and everybody else.
Yeah. For those that are just joining, I've got Widowmaker, also known as Ian, playing multiplayer with me, and he is the voice in the sky right now. Ooh, guess who just pulled Enduring Valor?
Ooh, that's nice. That was the other challenge that I gave Sarah, is that she had to play Enduring Valor. Which
then I countered, I don't know whose challenge it's really going to be, me or you keeping me alive.
That's legitimate. Considering I haven't received any of my healing cards. Oh, you should put it out. Never mind.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I'm not messing around today. Oh, and of course now we get that guy.
I'll let you kill him. You'll be able to kill him this turn, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got this. Just because we've got a bit of a lull at the moment, something that Sarah and I were having a chat about, while we were preparing for this, about what kind of makes this game, unique, or makes it distinct from a lot of other games that are kind of on the market that you might have played, and what makes it challenging, like some of those things. And I think something that I've seen a lot of people come into Discord or make comments on various channels is that often it comes down to not paying enough attention to the fate and the threat meter, and I think normally I'd make a point of looking at those at the start of each game, but we were busy chatting away, which is fine, right? But normally it's a good thing to do at the start of every quest to kind of have a look at your threat meter, and see if there's any there that are really kind of nasty. So I think this quest is a good example of that first threat event, that 35 one. If you can bring that up, Sarah.
I did.
If you remember, the second location's got a lot of really awful hazards. And I've the number of times I must have traveled to that location just to trigger that threat event. It can be so brutal. And those of you guys that have been around for a while, back before the tutorial was a thing. I'm just going to fade up here actually, because I actually don't want to travel just yet because I want more things. Those of you who have been around for a while, before there was a tutorial, players jumping into the Atacap, there were some really awful threat events. There still is. You've got those ones who, there's one there which is return all your allies to your hand. There's one there that sheds your entire deck. And similarly in the fate event department, you get Lembas, you get Gloin, you get Grimbjorn, you get there's a lot of really cool fate events which make a massive difference. I can totally totally see how you would end up, like if you're a new player coming into that and you didn't pay attention to threat or fate, I could totally see how you would be getting absolutely hammered by that. And people did, people basically panned the game on account of, not being able to get through Atacap, which is pretty crazy. So yeah, we'll pay. I like traveling with a full fate meter, so we've got that, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. I got one of my another attachments, which is nice. Which I will put on Gimli. Give him some block too.
So much coffee Engage, it's nuts.
Yes, Engage says he was expecting Jake. Yes, we got. He's very kind and staying up late so he can play with us. So, everybody, thank him. We'll.
You know what's better than +1 willpower to everybody? +2.
That's amazing. I'm gonna steal his resource.
Here you were saying that you didn't have any willpower.
Now I'm eating my words. So yes, we were discussing prior to stream just me playing this dwarf deck, leadership and tactics, not my circle of comfort. But I was trying to just sort of play with it on my own. And this isn't a great deck for playing singly because the willpower was super low. But now we can see that's not an issue anymore. Yeah, sure, we'll get rid of that.
Bilbo's cloak is amazing in this quest because you can play it on Bilbo, which makes sense. But the big thing is that greedy fingers won't trigger off it because Bilbo's not a hero. So when when he plays that event and you're like, oh, I just lost my raiment. It's always your raiment, right? Like it's always a raiment.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Like, oh look, that looks expensive. I'll take that.
Yes.
Yeah. So that you can't lose that. So we've kind of got a decision to make here, Sarah. I think we're sitting pretty good, to be honest.
I would agree with that.
But you would, yeah. So, but this is a good location for us to, we could actually stall here if we wanted to, and the meaning by the meaning of stall, like we, the trigger for this is just clearing this objective, and we don't have to clear it. We could hang around for another turn. So if we felt like we wanted to guard up some extra characters, or we wanted to move on later on. Oh, I'm getting my warning, my time. Hurry up,
Your
Ian.
timer.
But it's still a good opportunity for us to kind of guard up our characters before we go to the next location.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think there's any reason for us to hang around for a turn.
I would agree with that. And I'll just grab another resource and we'll be done.
Yeah.
Engage says, no punches were pulled on those C1, Q1 threat events. You knew it was serious business when you finally learned how to manage the threat and then got hit by Evil Storm. Brutal curve, he says.
Yeah.
And he does plug your YouTube series, and that's the other thing too. Widowmaker's got some really great videos on YouTube for the beginners. I certainly watched them. So maybe that's a good endorsement. I don't know. We're traveling, right?
Yeah, let's do it. I just wanted to get an event out.
Fair enough. And
so another interesting trick for some of these, I think you've got to hit end turn after you've travelled.
Oh, I do.
Back to you. Yeah,
okay.
It's a bit of a funny thing. Another interesting thing about a lot of these quests, not all of them, but a lot of them have like a fate event, which lowers your threat.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be like, the timing on that is really kind of critical. I think. And the reason being is that and we can demonstrate this really good, which we totally intended to do. So if we have a look at the threat meter, this location, we actually have a location-specific threat event, which will add 2 to every objective and restore it to full.
Yeah, that's this one here.
And on the same turn, it will also reduce all of our heroes to 0. So we really don't want to hit that. So this is a good opportunity for us to use that Grace of Lorien to reduce our threat by 3 to make sure that we don't get it. Not that I think that we will, but if you were playing on a harder difficulty, you might.
I have practiced this quite a bit, and yep, I used Grace of Lorien to avoid the first threat every time because it's gross, especially once you get to second location. Because like he was saying, oops, I guess I used it. I meant to click off of that, but here we are.
It's fine.
Sorry. But there's quite a few events here that require willpower. So the first thing he does when you hit this threat event is he reduces all your heroes to 0, which is not helpful. So that's kind of... I'm clicking to show what you were verbally talking about. Okay. So let's just avoid some damage right away.
I don't those guys very much.
Yep.
So I'm going to make sure Dwalin stays alive and healthy.
Yeah, thank you.
Because
he's for those that may or may not have used Dwalin before, if he's above 6 health, then he's beefier. More willpower, more fight. And I have a little bit of healing in my deck, not much. So I'm
Dead Megan. Sudsy, he made a lot of really good videos. I haven't seen him around much lately, even in the Discord. So maybe he's moved on, done other things.
I actually was on just playing around on Steam yesterday on the Steam page and came across some of his videos and watched a couple. And he was talking about event management and stuff like that, and they were really good. Maybe we can get him to come back. Hi, Board Game Dude.
So which one of these hazards do you reckon's the one we want to get rid of? Because we probably can't get rid of them all.
No.
Maybe.
I feel like our threat is pretty well managed, but I hate losing cards. So I say we go for Swirling Eddy.
Sounds good to me.
All right. And I have plenty of... See, now with these Sigil Miners, I have plenty of resources, so I can now use them to actually fight.
I feel bad for you now, actually. I should have probably taken Bilbo.
It's okay. I didn't expect to have both my Sigil Miners come up in my opening hand either.
Yeah. And see, now you don't want to get rid of them because they've got like such good stat lines.
I know. Well, he'll go guarding anyway.
Hey, Board Game Dude.
All right. Well, actually, with the rest of my... We probably could get rid of a second hazard, now that I'm looking at it.
Stoner Than Steel is good like that.
Yep, we've got...
I blocked up with Glorfindel and everything, and I was like, didn't even get to use him.
I know. I've got a bunch of blocks
annoying.
there. Thank you for noticing our theme attempt, guys. Yes, we got dwarves and elves. That wasn't an accident.
Unlikely alliance. Poor old Rosiel, I don't know that she's really doing much of her, using her power much.
I struggled to use her properly as a new player. I thought that was kind of hard to get through.
There are some really good allies. I think the Greenwood Defender, I think we talked about, was just amazing. But even like some of the other, when I played a deck when I wasn't going for Elrond's hero power, I was... we should probably fade up. You reckon we can stay here for another turn?
Yeah.
get our fate meter up. You know, might as well.
Absolutely.
We've got plenty of threat. Um, One thing I really thought Rosiel was great for was using like the forest protector, so like the 1/4 guard. So the idea was is you could play it down, take the hit, because it had guard, potentially even 2, and then bounce them back to your hand and play again. You didn't have to worry about healing your guard guys as much when you could just return them and replay them again. Rosiel's a lot better when you're playing on difficulties when you're not drawing 2 cards a turn, though.
Yeah.
Pocknock, you are 100% correct. There are so many cool things that you can do when you're playing co-op that you just can't do. Or you totally can do them, but they are a little bit more challenging to do single player.
Well, we'll start. I got a handful of stuff that I can play but don't need to.
Yeah. Boom.
I think too, this is also a nice testament to exactly what Ian's been saying in kind of stalling. So we've been stalling at both locations to kind of get ourselves built up, and we've done it. I think we're sitting in a pretty good position at this point. I guess I'm gonna steal his resource just because. And maybe that was stupid, but then he can't use it.
It's really bad. I don't have anything that can kill a 3 health minion. Like,
of course, he had to play it on your turn.
guess I'll take it.
Yeah.
Ow.
Oof. Well, I guess I'll at least, in case we stay again. 21 resources, guys. I could play my whole hand and still have some left over.
You do have 2 Sword Numenors, eh? That's significant. How great is Ravenwing Helm as well? It's got Sauron just can't handle it. It can't address the. I'll let you finish that off with your Zigil Miner.
Okay.
Yeah, he'll still crash into you with like 1 health allies, even though he can't do any damage.
Which is excellent. It's a nice little hidden thing, I guess. Put that in there.
I mean, it's great for us.
Well, that's what I mean. I on my own free time, we're full, so we'll just guard up. I was trying for the Antihero award as well, and I will try it again at some point, maybe even on stream, but I did not do so well. Are we traveling? Yes, we are. Okay.
Oh yes, yeah. This quest is the best to do it on for Elrond's Hero Award. And if you're doing it single player, just because you can nope Sauron, because he just gets 1 resource a turn, which is hilarious. You're like, you're playing Elrond and you don't have to worry about Evil Storm because he can't afford it. It's the greatest feeling. You're like, how does it feel, Sauron? How does it feel?
Yep. Sucks being broke, doesn't it?
All right. So obviously, because I don't have any allies in my deck, I would love to take aid from Lorian if you're not, especially attached to it. I suspect you've got a handful of allies yourself.
I have almost nothing but allies. So I've got a couple of feint events I can reduce some guys.
You know what I'm hearing here? What I'm hearing is you didn't believe that I could heal you, so you bought all the allies. That's what I'm hearing. You're like, oh, Ian's not playing Arwen. Oh,
I blame Ring's database. Yeah, we're not having Arwen. We don't have 2 of them again. So, So you said you did want to take a hit? Sorry.
I was
hang
just
on.
saying I would take 8 from Lorian. I don't mind. I can take some damage. It's
Okay,
fine.
yeah, you take it because I've got
I will
way too much
definitely
crap in my
take
hands.
Yep.
Oh, right. I don't wanna. Here, we'll go with that. Get rid of the guard at the very least. Bye.
I might help us out by playing that card.
Oh, that wasn't awful. And you
It
use
was,
Study the Scrolls first. That's great.
yeah. I was actually thinking about playing another Sterner with Steel, but then Sterner than Steel, but then I thought I was probably just showing off, like,
Well,
you
you
know,
should show off. Flex.
seven willpower Elrond. I mean, it's fun, but it's a little bit of a hat on a hat at that point, right?
Hat on a hat. I've never heard that phrase.
We're from Australia. We have weird things. I'll take those, thanks.
I mean,
I'm gonna have to discard. Oh, that was silly of me. I probably shouldn't have done that. I think I've got too many cards in my hand.
I definitely am approaching too many cards. Because there's just... I haven't wanted to get rid of any of my allies at this point, because I haven't needed to.
I kind of want to get rid of some of my level 2 cards, but I think just because we don't play them on stream much, I'll hang on to them. I totally could have avoided that whole thing. Never mind. Do you want me to try and heal up your residual miners, or are you happy for them to go under the bus? So
I'm okay. I'm okay with them going under the bus. Don't worry about them, because I've got like... Oh, what do I have? I have a veteran axe hand, another watchman, a couple Tom Bombadils.
Oh wow. Okay.
I
do have the stream kind of open, but I haven't. I'm not squinting at your cards.
Oh, that's yeah. And because of that, I am gonna start guarding with which is fine.
I do have some more hard removal, which we probably don't need. But we don't need it yet, I should say. Oh, that guy needs to die.
Yep, I'll take care of it.
Cool. Seems a little excessive.
It totally does, but I've got cards in my hand and I have 26 resources at the time.
Yeah, we do, and we. It's funny the number of times you're sitting there holding on to Tom Bombadil and you're like, oh man, I'm never going to be able to afford this guy.
Yep.
I'll start chipping away at that.
All right. I can assist with him since he's going to go away at the end of this. That's correct, Pocknock. It is still just 2 difficulty levels, narrative and challenge. And we just didn't think we had enough time on stream to do challenge because that's pretty lengthy.
Yeah, so challenge, all the minions get twice as much health as they do in single player. So it just takes you a lot longer to chew through a lot of health, and all the hazards and stuff are all twice as big as well.
Mm-hmm.
I used a Back to the Dark on that guy because I think he had like block, and we would have had to take threat just to attack him. And I don't like
that's
that,
true.
So.
I can. Well, you've got. Yeah, I'll help you at least knock into that.
Are we gonna stay for a turn, or are we going to motor on?
Well, we probably could use a little more in our fate meter, frankly. Because isn't the next one where... Nope, not the next one. Isn't that where we get all the orcs? Are we on that one already?
No, the next one's the final location. So this is the 3rd out of the 4th. So
okay.
The next one is there's a bunch of dudes, and then Ulftak comes in a couple of turns. So
right. So we do want to build up our
trouble.
fate meter because we've got... we can remove their guard, remove their... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, do all that stuff, so...
Okay.
Also very good. And I always like it'll be good to take some guard into the next location as well.
Yeah.
Except I'm an idiot. Oh, I can't believe I did that. You know what we should do? What we should do is we should show off the looming threat on the stream.
Oh, yeah. So that's something we also talked
I
about.
totally meant to do that.
Off stream, yeah. And I don't normally do it on stream because it's not always the thing in single player. Plus, kind of a newbie, so I don't always take on the looming threat. But we'll show that for those that may or may not know. So once you've completed the goal and you kind of hang around, Sauron kind of tries to push you along and gives you looming threat, which we'll show that. So we'll not travel and just kind of hang out.
Not travel, yeah.
So I'll add to the meter.
So this is especially kind of like pertinent, if you will, because not every this has got a lot of locations where we can just chill, but not every location does, right? A lot of quests have they have the timed ones, or they have the locations that like they basically trigger based on the number of orcs you kill. You know, you got to kill 6 orcs, right? So the minute you kill 6 orcs, that happens. Sometimes, if you've got ways of managing your threat, like you're playing Spirit in general, or you've got Glorfindel, it's kind of okay to take a hit for threat. You know, like if your threat meter, if you're looking at the threat meter and you're going like, there's nothing really there that particularly bothers me, you know, you can hang around. You know, so if you have a look at looming threat, basically what it means is at the end of every round, end of this round, you'll take an additional threat. So instead of just getting the 1, we'll take 2. And if we stayed around for a whole nother turn, you would take 3. So it gets progressively worse. But sometimes hanging around for an extra turn, like for example, I just drew a Star Bridge. Probably worth it.
Yeah.
You know, probably worth it.
I would agree with that. All right. So I'm going to probably do a bunch of guarding.
All good. Yeah, going to new locations with guard on is like mint. Very, very valuable. Like if you can possibly manage it. You can't always, but yeah.
Right. Ooh, I did get Dwarven Axe though.
Aren't you glad we stayed?
I am glad we stayed, and I'm going to replace the sword on Gimli, because who doesn't love a beefy Gimli with a Dwarven Axe?
There isn't anything exciting on the threat meter. I don't know that the fate meter, Dad Megan. I think Sarah would actually be pretty disappointed if we healed her allies too.
I kind of would.
She's trying to get some. She's trying to get some.
They just need to die already.
Oh, actually, here's an interesting one. I want to put this to the stream. I've got a Star Bridge. Do you reckon? And given that I'm playing like hands full of events, do you reckon I should play it on my Sailor of Loon? I've actually never used this card before. I've got no idea, but I get the impression that the Sailor of Loon, because they get +1 attack and willpower every time I play an event, it's gonna like it potentially could be a lot bigger.
I say give it a shot. I think that's a really good.
I mean, it could not work, but then we'd know it didn't work, and now everyone else here would know that it didn't work.
So we can either be praised for your good idea, or everybody can watch it fail miserably. That's right. The beauty of stream, right?
Public humiliation on the internet.
Who doesn't love a little bit of that? I'm used to it on a regular basis at this point. All right, we'll just get rid of that because I don't already have enough resources, that's for sure.
Nope.
And we have enough of that. All right, so I'll just guard with everybody at this point.
If you're ever playing co-op, anything that gives you like +1, like, you know, does that board-wide stuff, like Bjorn's Hospitality, Grace of Eldar, Sterner Than Steel is just so good because it works on your partner as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'll have to shoot him now.
I was gonna say, thankfully you have that one range guy.
I think Sauron he'd actually passed, so I could have not done that. But, you know.
But if we didn't, he still would have attacked. Because I think, right?
Maybe if we travelled. I know there's some weird stuff. I've never really been 100% across that.
Okay.
About what happens when, like, if Sauron's passed and that he's got allies out, and then you travel, he gets a free attack. So if you had some guys that were blocked, that had block on, and I don't know, it's weird. I've been absolutely torpedoed by the game a couple of times where I was like, oh, that didn't work the way I expected it to.
Same. Very same.
Yeah.
I have a cram, so I could put that on Dwalin and then guard with him. Cram is one of those 2 sphere cards. Restores 2 health and then readies them, so it's pretty handy. But I feel like I'll probably wait for fighting for that. I've got a lot of cards.
Is that the same as Lembas? Is that exactly the same as Lembas, but it's not in lore?
I think you're correct, yeah. Lembas does 2 healing and readies it. Cram is Lembas. Cram, Lembas. Cram. Anyway.
Whoever designed that didn't strain any brain cells, did they?
Apparently not. I'll have to talk to Tim Cable about that.
It is interesting though. Like those kind of out of sphere of effects are really kind of powerful. And so if you're playing single player, like it's one of those things you want to pay a special attention to. Is like if you can. Like, I think a great example is if you happen to be playing tactics, leadership, and lore, and so you're missing things like a bit of readying, and you're missing threat reduction. So you pay a special attention to anything that can kind of fill those gaps. And I think a great example of that is so if Arwen's hero award is Grace of the Elder, which is heals cost 2. It's an event, heals 1 from everybody and reduces your threat by 1, which doesn't seem like much, but if you can just dodge one of those kind of threat events, and if you're not playing Spirit, it gives you an alternative to just, well, it looks like I'm playing Gandalf.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can't just hold your Gandalf for that moment, sometimes you have to play him. So, yeah. There's a few kind of cards like that give you options out of sphere, and even some of the neutral ones like Honeycomb.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not playing lore, like Honeycomb's one of the very few ways that you can heal. Oh, I finally got it. I'm going to see whether this works. So I've been playing Rosiel, and there's one ally. So there's an ally, but there's 2 of them in this deck that is a valid target for Rosiel's ability, and I'm down to my last 10 cards, and I finally drew one.
Of course, isn't that how it works?
It is, yeah.
Boy, I have like an embarrassment of riches, and I'm not like I'm overloaded with decisions. I could do Khazad and with Gimli and tear the 10 down. Probably not kill him though, unfortunately. Oh, okay. I'm just going to steal for now and wait to see what they do, since everything's guarded. Okay, that's fine. I don't hate that. I'm missing some of your conversation, but it looks good. And Dan McGinn.
Sorry, I gave Sarah someone else to talk to. All right, so I'm going to play my Imladris caregiver.
Okay.
So she's the thing, right? She's the trick that I was going for, where the idea is put her down, use the arrival effect, guard up or fade up, or do something with her, and then return it to her hand and rinse and repeat. So, boom!
Oh, did you see that?
That was oh no!
Oh no!
Oh.
Of course he did.
He took his enduring valor. Oh.
Man. That's okay.
So I'm gonna try something. So that Goblin Warlord, he's awful, right? So he's just that.
Yes.
He's that dude that when he kills a non-unique ally, and I dislike those sorts of things.
Yes.
So I'm going to give them fleeting, and I'm going to assume that doesn't trigger his revenge ability. I'm pretty sure it won't. But... That
Right,
seems
because
like it would work.
Revenge is on Revenge
Revenge.
is
Revenge is
on
on
Vanquish,
defeat.
isn't it?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, you don't need to kill either of those guys because they'll just go away at the end of the turn. So
Okay.
once again, level 2 spirit has just got like some of the best hard removal. Like just if you were watching at the start, like using Glorfindel's Seen and Unseen's not a level 2 card, but like just being able to be like, no, those two
Yep.
minions, you can just go away. I don't want to have to deal with you anymore. Yeah, so see if this thing works.
Okay. So at this point, since we don't have to fight, I might as well help tear that down. And actually, I can ready him and tear the other one down, but it's not like we're at a
No, actually, I
short.
forgot. I got Star Brooch on that sailor as well.
Oh, right. 6 Star Brooch with 6 willpower. Man, we're just making a mockery of this right now. I'm not even sure what I should. Here, let's do that. At this point, I got nothing that I can really do. I guess. Oh, that's not true. I can play another one. Sure, why not?
More dwarves. What's the Who's got the hero award for having a board full of dwarves? Is that
I believe that's Dwalin.
take that.
Or is it Dane? I can't remember. Does anybody
It's one of them.
on chat remember
It's one of them.
who's? It's Dane. Engage says.
Is it? Yeah, there you go. I'm sitting here looking at your board, saying you've pretty much done that.
Yep.
While we're in our quest for hero awards at the moment. So I might actually. This is the thing. This is what I was trying to do. I'm like trying to get recursive caregivers, which is probably not the most efficient thing, but.
Well, at this point, I mean, as our friend Board Game Dude says, we've got this handled. It's not even funny.
Yeah.
So when because for Dane's Hero Award, it's play dwarves in all of your slots, right?
Yeah, so you couldn't do it here because you've got Bilbo, because it still counts.
Okay, that was going to be my question. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
But you could do it in Ettercap, I think, because Gloin counts.
Oh, that's right. He is. I think
he's especially dwarfy.
Yes, he is. Glowing. I can't do accents. I try not to. I do a mean Midwestern accent, though. Oof.
Mm.
If anybody's
so do you guys source all your voice actors locally? I know you probably haven't done much lately.
In my experiences, I've worked for like small nonprofit studios and stuff like that, and definitely there's usually a specific couple of people that tend to get a lot of the work in local studios. So yeah, they do outsource quite a bit of the voice acting for that. As far as what FFI did before we got here, I'm sure it's something similar in that regard, because FFI was pretty small. I'm gonna just, yeah.
I think we got a whole nother turn. Yeah, before Wolftack arrives. Oh. Crack. So how are you finding level 2? Like, how are you finding, missing out on lore and spirit and running, having a better options in your leadership space?
It's a good step down, because I still get the satisfaction of seeing your lore and spirit. But no, sometimes it's nice just to be sort of the meat shield and fighting and taking care of all of that kind of stuff. It's sort of a good balance. I just say in general for things like this and role playing and all of that, like I prefer to be more tactical about it. we'll just steal it because I don't know what else to do with my time until he gets stuff out. See, and like you were saying at the beginning, I feel like it would have been better for you to go first, in general, because now you're stuck.
It definitely would have meant we would have been able to. You would have avoided that first set of damage, but usually you want the player who's got the most guard and block, which is also why I threw Bilbo to you, not really thinking about how many cards you were going to end up and how many resources and how you're sitting there looking at that Bilbo slot going, I'd prefer to have almost anything else in there. But normally, yeah, like because the way Sauron plays, like he'll always attack with the if he's got a card there to attack, he will.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'll heal up there.
Maybe I am the voiceover. Engage. You never know. Well, sure. 30 resources, everybody. That's insane.
Go away. Look, did you see that? I killed an enemy from like full health. It was with like an attack. Like,
if you blinked, you would have missed it.
So, I mean, you only have 1 health, but let's not let the truth get in the way of a good story.
That's fair. That's fair. I legit don't have anything to do at this point. Let's see. I got all of the people out.
Have you used the Hammersmith before?
I haven't.
He's fun to play, and you've definitely got the resources.
I do. Let's just get rid of...
Don't get rid of Bilbo.
No. I'll get rid of the axe hand. Why not? Maybe I can get some fun stuff for you. I have the resources for it.
You do. Right.
And I did bring the Hammersmith per your recommendation because I wanted to see what that was all about. Ooh, warrior sword. Now you're gonna kill stuff.
Well, I have like no attachments, right? I've only got this. I only had 6 slots to play with out of all of my things. I'm actually running out of resources now. I'll play that because old mate's gonna arrive next turn.
You know what's funny is I was like, well, yeah, I have the resources to spend to get attachments, and then I can spend them on the attachments. Well, guess which attachment I got? Warrior sword, which is totally free. Here, we'll give you 2 there. Why not?
It's usually the activation on the character that becomes a little bit sketchy because you're like, can I really afford? Because you only have 7 slots, right? So
yeah,
basically using him to not get any value. Yeah, I don't. I've still got some reservations on the whole, like, you're probably going to win anyway if you got to the point where you're just spewing out attachments because
that's fair.
You're just kind of winning some more.
I'm done, so I'm just gonna let you finish up here.
We are going to hit battle cries next round, but I don't think that'll be an issue.
Nope. We have a full fate meter.
Yep.
So this looks gross for those that may or may not have played this, but we have a full fate meter, and the fate is designed to make this far less gross. So we are going to get reduced. Not a huge problem.
But just imagine, like, if that was a different threat event, like, how bad could that have been?
That would have been.
It so matters the timing and things like that.
Yep. So we can remove guard. Which, are you okay with me using all the fate events for us?
Yeah.
Right.
You mash those buttons.
And then we'll move the block. And then
yeah, we can't do the other one.
No, usually just the 2, but those are important to get rid of.
They are.
Let's see. I think I don't think we need any more attachments, but The other fate events that are left is a question. Reduce one enemy to 1, which that's been around since the first location. Deal 2 damage per player to every Uthag's champion, which might not be bad to get to. And then restore 2 to every ally, which I don't think we want either. Okay.
Yeah, crippling strike is really there to get rid of the hill troll. You can't use it on Uthag. I tried.
Yeah.
I mean, we can try it on stream. You can see if we can prove me wrong. I'm sure it does say reduce one enemy, but I don't think it triggers on Uthag because he's a villain. So that might be a. I hope Greg's got a pencil out because that might be a bug because that's it probably should say minion.
Engage says you can use it. Enemy is not a minion.
I played this the other day, and that was one thing I tried to do because I was playing Spirit and Law, so I didn't have any measurable attack. But yeah, look, we'll do it again. We'll give it another crack. See if I was off on another planet, which is possible.
I hear ya.
Possible.
It's a weird year, isn't it?
It's 2020, unsubscribe.
That is a solid way to put it.
We started off over in Australia. We started off the year with all these bushfires and stuff like that. So
that's right. Like we tend to forget that because everything else has been awful.
Crazy year, right?
Yeah. But I forgot that Australia was on fire too. Now, like, our whole West Coast is on fire, but...
Yeah, that was the first thing I saw. I saw that on the news, and I was like, oh, man, that sucks, because we were pretty much there. I forgot to play Haldy. I should have played him right at the start. So Haldy is a pretty clutch card. You basically get him a couple of locations ago, and you're like, don't play him until you get here. Because this is where he's for.
Yeah, as you can see, you get nothing but orcs, and he reduces the orc damage, so it's pretty handy.
Let's not kill Uthag. Let's get 12 fate to see whether engage is.
Let's do that.
I spoke categorically, and it's probably not true.
Yeah, I actually saw on the news that the smoke and everything from California has reached Europe, which is crazy.
I'm gonna pull out another seen and unseen to get rid of those other 2 guys.
This is bonkers board game, dude. We are embarrassing Sauron right now, I think. Oh no.
Oh, there it is.
Well, I guess I can get some more crap out. I mean, I have 2 Northern Survivors. A couple veterans and a Tom Bombadil.
So here you'll see is the real reason why I took the Rosiel and Ladris Caregiver combo.
Yes.
Because if Sauron gets off Evil Storm, I just have to pitch my entire hand, and I'm sitting there with nothing to do. So I'm like, at least if I do this, I'll have something to do.
Yep, that's fair. That is fair.
Hey, you know what's great?
What's
he
that?
just played Under the Watchful Eye, which means that I don't really have to worry about reducing my hand to 3 cards anymore.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, Sauron, you're such a klutz. Actually, there was a card that Twit kind of encouraged me to play, which was Fair and Perilous, which is a level 2 card.
Okay.
Which is choose a character, add their willpower to their attack for this round. It's only Noldor and Sylvan, and I really wanted to try that on the Sailor of Loon because it's also an event.
Yeah.
So that would have given him like 11 or 12 attack on with the Starbrood, so he was Stalwart as well.
That would be that's. Should we try the Crippling Strike?
Yeah. Try the Crippling Strike. See if it triggers.
Yep, you can't put it on Uthag. It won't let you.
Look, I'm pretty sure that initially there wasn't minions and villains, like that distinction didn't exist.
Yeah.
So I'm suspecting that might have been, might have been a thing.
Science indeed. Um,
Do the honors. Put
all
him to
right.
bed.
Put him to sleep. Bye, Ufthag. Like I said, we single-handedly embarrassed Mr. Nice Eye. Okay. There it is.
Well done.
Same to you. So I think too, what that was a really good example of is when you have pretty good balance in your multiplayer decks. Like I was pretty good at fighting, Ian was really good at healing and willpower, and it was just made this look super easy. So, which I like that we were able to show that because it's not always something that you can see, as people have said in chat, as you have said, Ian. You can't always see the aspects of multiplayer with all the different kinds of decks you can build, since you have a partner that can sort of pick up for what your deck is lacking and vice versa. So, that does it, I think. Let's see. You still there, Ian?
Yeah, I'm still
Okay,
here.
you're still there. Good. Just
No,
making sure.
I was like, I'm done. I'm out. See you later.
Yeah, he's like, game over. 1. I'm out.
Yeah. Didn't you hear the mic drop?
Which yeah. I think with that would conclude our stream. It's 11 o'clock. Let's maybe let him go to bed. I think it's ready for you to get some sleep. But
Yeah.
that to say,
It's very 2 a.m. here.
It's oh my gosh. Okay, so I'm gonna stop talking so we can let him go back to sleep, or go to sleep. That is. But thank you so much for joining on the stream. You are excellent. You're a wonderful teacher, and an excellent multiplayer partner. So thank you so much for joining.
No, thanks for having me. I know I'm on weird hours and things like that. But if you see me over on Discord or whatever, hit me up for a game. And I think Engage has got a point. I think maybe next time, if we were ever going to do challenge in co-op, then Mirror of Galadriel might work. I think because it's shorter.
Yeah.
Or it could be dreadful and I don't know, maybe.
Hey, I'm not opposed to embarrassing myself. Anytime. We'll have you again if you're willing to stay up. All right. With that, everybody, thank you for joining on chat. Thank you for the really good discussion. As always, join us on Discord, Facebook, Twitter, all of those fun places. Especially if you're new, there's really, really great resources. Like I said, people like Ian are on Discord and are willing to help you figure out this really great game. So everybody enjoy your weekend, and we'll look forward to another week of streaming next time.